people talk about the world. And, in the Bible, I've overcome the world, be in the world, but not of the world, blah, blah, blah. Every spiritual tradition just about has that in some way. But then the question is, what is the world? And this is something I want to run by anybody, but you, Sanjay, in particular, just to kind of get your take on it. And one thing that helped me, I kind of just, like I just said when I read that about, this is a good thing that my interest in people and their interest in me is falling away. There's nothing there anymore. A little bit sad, but that was okay. That was just the initial part. Now it's perfectly good. But as far as the world, it's like, what is the world? Like one day I was going down the road here from my house to the office there in Atlanta, and I saw this bumper sticker, and it said, this guy said, when I die, bury me upside down so I can tell the word to kiss my, what? And I said, oh, that's interesting. I just kept on driving. About 10 minutes later, I needed to stop for gas. So I stopped at this QT and got my stuff and was going on. Oh, there's that guy here. So he came out and I said, hey, your bumper sticker. And of course, he kind of got defensive. And when I said, hey, it's very benign, I said, what's it all about? He said, because when I look at the world, like I'm up here in the mountains and everything, the world's okay. The squirrels and the trees and stuff like that. And we talked for a minute or two. And it finally got down to this. He said, well, yeah, but then he started naming his grievances, like that cheating wife and those ungrateful kids and that boss who, fired me eventually after I put all my, and I kept thinking, really the world itself is just the world is fine. The creatures of the world. But every time every time a person is of the world, even something like getting rich. Why? Because I want to impress other people. It's like the thing about the ego lives and dies by comparison. So I just thought I would. And you and other people have said, whenever you say anything, think anything, instead of just letting it go, try to track it back to its selfish, egotistical motives, which can be very subtle, it's a sneaky thing. But to do that, and for me, when I've done that, it's like it keeps going back somehow or another to other people. Like I had a patient one time, and she was going to go to this big dance, but she didn't have enough money to do this certain dress that say cost $100. And I said, well, is that to impress other people? Oh, no, I just like this dress. And I said, well, what if you went there and all the other girls there had like a $300 dress? So it was kind of like a revelation to her that it's not the dress, but what the dress means. And it means in relation to other people. Like the guy who's got 20 million bucks and something happens and he loses 15. He still has 5 million, but he feels embarrassed to go back to the country club because the other guys know about him. So I've got a lot of mileage out of that. Like, like all these terms are nebulous and stuff like that, like awareness and consciousness and all these theoretical. But for me, in a practical day-to-day life, thinking about the world, and sometimes it's capital T, capital W, in terms of other people. It seems so simple, has just made my day-to-day life, trying to be aware of awareness at every moment. But when I get sort of hijacked, my mind gets hijacked, or I get submerged in something, and it's something that I have an interest in. It's just a thought is a thought, but it activates by my interest, which goes back to my desires and all that kind of stuff. But that's it. I just thought I'd run that past you and see, whether this is something. It's limited. There's other things too, I guess. But have any thoughts about that? Like as a way of trying to kind of monitor my heart and my true motives and so forth, and to see, and other people too, that it somehow one way or another involves other people being the world, because the world is just fine, in a way. So thank you for that convoluted question. Patience.
Everything comes from our mind only. This word, what we see around us, as Steve was saying, it doesn't bite us. Our perception about things going on this world makes us bothered about things. Whether a conflict is happening, war is happening, people around us, and it all depends on conditioning of our mind. If you are not bothered about something, which most of them are bothered, you might be bothered about something else, or something else, or something else. Word is completely insentient, neutral. It doesn't say anyone anything. And if someone is saying something to you, there must be some reasoning which we don't know. Perhaps destiny, perhaps law of karma. We did something, that's why it's coming to us. Though it is all illusory in Maya, everything is happening. From the ego point of view, it is all real and is biting us or helping us to acquire what our desires want. But if you set aside your mind, there is nothing wrong here. This world is the most blissful state. It is in blissful state. You see, you have everything in this world. You struck any tragedy. You are disturbed by a very bad thought. Even in the best bed, mattress, pillow, food, house, which you love, you can't sleep. But let's say you are in bliss. You can stay like Bhagavan in a cave, putting your hand behind your head and making it a pillow. And when the food comes, it comes. If it doesn't come, I'll sleep. But no complaints. All complaints comes from our own mind. But the mind is very tricky. It says, oh, look, the people are not nice, and look, they are doing this, and blah, 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 and it continues complaining. Its own creation, making you as an individual and the world as separate. The word which bites us stays as long as the ego stays. And these experiences of coming and going also stays till the ego stays. We went into some divine domain of God. So there was God, I went there, this happened, then I came out, and now this word, and I don't like people and all. Who is doing it? It is only ego. Ego gives rise to word, ego gives rise to God, ego gives rise to a body, an individual. Ego gone, all these three are gone. And only truth is left. Truth is revealed when the ego disappears. Ego is this person with a story which is continuing on its journey, unending journey. If you want to make this journey back to the divine awareness, you stay as divine awareness. It accepts whatever is coming. It is choiceless. It is only energy. It is light. It gives light, but it is not involved. In day to day, if there is some issue happening at workplace or in big families, people say, stay away from this all. Stay away. Don't get involved. It's all crap. Same advice to ego is stay away. And the ego disappears because ego does not know how to stay away. It always keep getting advices from thoughts. It cannot stay away. It stay away and it dies. It will finish. Its life is dependent on some sort of mental activity because it is creation of our mind only, of thoughts. I thought is ego. Without I thought, there is no ego. Without ego, there is no word which we can complain of. And without ego, we are not achieving to know any God. Ego creates this drama that first this word is not right, something wrong. And then I have to know that God, which is bliss, which is good. Not knowing that I am that unreal, creating problem. I am the problem. And the moment we realize this truth, we start watching this I in us, which is conditioned by our mind, its tendencies. You honestly start watching it, it starts disappearing. You keep an eye on it, and it vanishes forever. Body doesn't create any problem. Word doesn't create any problem. Our true self, what we all are, that blissful state, is not looking for any liberation. The one who wants liberation has to disappear. I will come to Bhagavan's Maha Mantra, Chumma Yeru. Keep quiet. Not speaking, but inside internal talk happening with thoughts. Don't get involved. Stay away. Even this intention, purest intention to stay away from thoughts will help you immensely. Because if you are convinced that blissful silence is me and all this thought business is external to me, you have sorted out everything. If you meet people of different conditioning, not from your group, not from your religion, not from your whatever community, you get uneasy because they have a different set of thoughts and conditioning, and they put their point as strongly as you put your point. This recent conflict going on in Gaza, I have Jewish friends and Muslim friends, and I get messages from both groups, exactly opposite message for the same issue. If you listen to one, you will start supporting that group. Those messages are so strong and they are so convinced. What will happen if I exchange their messages? I will lose both friends. And where I stand, you just witness every day-to-day happenings in our life. Mind which is so conditioned, we trust that mind. And we fight and we kill others for that conditioning. What a shame. People talk about religion, that I will die for my religion. Let's say you were born in the opposite religion, then you will die for that religion. It's a mere chance you were born in that family. What have you earned from that religion? Only thing we could have earned from a religion is knowing the truth. If you know the truth, you will realize everyone is same. That same Brahman, same awareness, same reality.